Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Hello, everyone. Welcome to my reaction to the first episode of the Afterlives called Bastion. I was able to record this as they broadcasted this, so we're gonna do my initial reaction to it, as I know how many of you love to see those. There will be many loregasms, and then we're gonna deep dive into the information given. So, ladies and gentlemen, before I start, if you want to see the full thing for yourself, there is a link in the description down below. Sit back, relax, and I hope you'll enjoy. Uther's not doing too well. Warcraft 3 where he died.
Light, save my soul.
Ooh, I'm hoping we're gonna find out more about what he did the moment he got to the Shadowlands. That is my massive hope. So he dies, he's brought up to the Shadowlands, brought before the Arbiter.
Where am I?
Welcome to Bastion. You led a truly selfless life, and for that, you have been chosen.
Chosen?
To shed your mortal burdens and join the ranks of the Ascended, serving to ferry the souls of the dead unto the Shadowlands.
I serve the light, and my work is not done. There is an evil that must be...
There is no evil here. The darkness was sealed within the maw long ago.
You're wrong. He destroyed my home, murdered my people and my king. He must be punished.
You are an aspirant now. You must accept your new purpose and purge yourself of this desire for vengeance.
What I desire is justice.
Justice demands retribution.
Devils, why are you training this soul? It is beneath your station as a paragon.
He cannot let go. He continues to demand retribution for his death.
And this concerns you? Many souls take eons to ascend.
Yes, but this one seems broken, Thenios. Unlike any soul I have seen. I have begun to wonder whether he was deemed worthy of Bastion. By mistake.
Be careful, Devos. I would not let the Archon hear such a thought. In time, he will forget. Trust our ways. Trust the path.
She questions the path, heretic.
Devos, how long must we train?
Until you are ready to ascend.
And what is keeping me from ascension?
Nothing but the memory of your mortal life.
How can I forget when I can still feel his blade?
Your soul is wounded? Who did this to you?
He was my student. He betrayed us all.
Show me.
Oh, that's how that works.
The runes on his blade were unmistakable. This dark agent runs free on a mortal world with the power of the Maw itself in hand. Our realm is imperiled.
Impossible. The Maw is inescapable. You must return to the path.
If he had purged his life, we never would have known of this calamity. The path is flawed.
Enough!
The order of the Shadowlands depends on the execution of our eternal charge. You will abandon this course.
As you command.
No, she won't.
My Archon.
No, she won't. Oh, this is good.
Uther, the time of your ascension has come.
I thought I was not ready.
Do you wish to see him punished?
I do.
Then prepare yourself.
To the maw we go.
The moment he falls, we will claim him.
Oh, and the music.
I see. Only darkness before me.
She just instantly drops him into the maw, doesn't she? She is just gonna drop him into the maw.
Now, cast him into the maw. Return him to the darkness he served. His eternal suffering awaits.
He was my student.
Remember what he did and take your vengeance.
Not vengeance.
Justice.
Justice.
Ooh. Not even judged by the Arbiter. Not even judged by the Arbiter, just instantly dropped into the maw. And then when it comes to Arthas, it's really interesting that he was never judged, isn't it? He has just been dropped into the maw, and we kind of already know that he was there. Because if you've read the short story Edge of Night, we also have a badass machinima up on the channel. But from Edge of Night, we already found out that when Sylvanas killed herself at the end of Wrath of the Lich King, she too ended up in this realm of eternal torment. And we figured that that was the maw. And this 99.9% seems to confirm it, that she did indeed end up in the maw as well. Was she pulled in there by the jailer? Was she actually judged by the Arbiter and sent in there? We do not know for certain. But we do know that she ran into a young spirit of Arthas there. And in the grand scheme of Eternity's torment, the Lich King seemed insignificant to her. And that is also where she made the bargain with the jailer. So here we have the opening scene, which is Uther falling at the hands of Arthas in Warcraft 3. And we know this moment. I goofed about it during the trailer as well, where I was like, that's not what he said. You know, he told Arthas, like, what do you want to do with the ashes of your father? To which some were like, well, yeah, that sentence in a monologuing. And I got that point. I was more goofing around with it. And what I find really interesting is that they make the distinction. What happens here is that Frostmourne rips his soul apart, so it takes a piece of it, yet another piece is sent off to the Shadowlands, which somewhat explains how we were able to communicate with Uther during Wrath of the Lich King, where we went to the dungeon, we talked to Frostmourne, he told us there must always be a Lich King. But at the same time, we've talked to Uther a couple of times now. And as an additional side note, because it's really cool to see, right, that Uther's soul got split up, and, you know, he asked the light to save his soul, right? Wait, did he just... Wait, hang on.
Light.
Ooh, hang on.
Light. Save my soul.
And then this happens. Light save my soul, yoink. Oh, is that it? Right, so, sorry, train of thought. What I was thinking about when the whole separation of Uther's soul happened here, like part of it is taken into Frostmourne and part of it is sent off into Bastion. And I was wondering, could this potentially also happen to other characters? Take, for example, a Sylvanas. She also felt eternal bliss until her soul was ripped back by Frostmourne. But now, that I've looked back at it, and of course this is always with the first reactions, where there are many, many more thoughts that are going to happen to this. But now that I look back at it, it does appear like there's a part that's being sucked into Frostmourne. That's the part that we interact with. And then the light potentially saved his soul, part of it anyways, and send it off to Bastion. Could it be that it was his conviction to the light that actually saved part of his soul there? Now, that does still leave the question, what happened to that piece of soul that we interacted with Uther at the end of Wrath of the Lich King? Because there was this chest quest, and we could turn in stuff at it at the ghost. Like, what happened to that piece? Did that go to the afterlife afterwards, or did that just stick around? Or what exactly happened to the other Uthers that we talked to? Interesting. Maybe it was stuck on Azeroth for the rest of his life. Interesting. But I wonder if it was actually the light that made it possible for his soul to be split apart like this, now that I look at it. So that moment where he asked, "Where am I?" also implies that as a spirit, you do not remember showing up before the Arbiter. You do not remember being judged and sent off to the domain you belong to. Rather interesting. About Frostmourne, she freaks out when she figures out that Frostmourne with the runes of the jailer... Here, listen to this bit.
Unto the Shadowlands.
I serve the light, and my work is not done. There is an evil that must be...
There is no evil here. The darkness was sealed within the maw long ago.
You're wrong. He destroyed my home, murdered my people and my king. He must...
So, what they could mean with this is that Uther simply holds on to his mortal life. She tells him there is no evil here. He doesn't really register that he's in the Shadowlands. He still believes that there's evil out there, which is the Lich King, Arthas, the Death Knights, destroying worlds. Yet at the same time, you can also easily make a connection between Arthas the Death Knight following the orders of Lich King Ner'zhul and the jailer itself, because the runes on Frostmourne are recognized as something that has come from the Maw, and this is what makes it spark inside of her mind that something has escaped the Maw, something that should not have happened, because the Maw is this inescapable realm of eternal torment, where they've locked the jailer away eons ago. Nothing is supposed to get out of there. But we know, and this is the point where I just want to give you a massive, massive spoiler warning. The rest of my reaction, because I pretty much said what I could about this cinematic, about this cutscene, before going into Shadowlands beta spoilers. The information I've talked about so far have all been from BlizzCon and whatnot. The next bit, however, is going to deep dive in what we have seen go down in Shadowlands beta. In essence, these episodes are going to be an introduction into the zones that you're going to play with. So in this case, the Uther, Bastion, what is going on here, the path is broken, our mission is broken, is going to be a massive part of the storyline as you play through Bastion. Now, of course, I've tested this on the beta, I've seen what goes down, I've seen the Covenant campaign, and I will dive into it for those that want it. Spoiler warning, turn off the video right now. 3, 2, 1, go. That there's a connection between the jailer and the Helmet of Domination, the powers of the Lich King. There is a connection there. But yeah, we know from dialogue, like Bolvar mentions to us that when he was wearing the helmet, that he could sense the darkness of the maw of the jailer, and that is why he is afraid to peer into the maw. There's a connection between the gear and the jailer itself, its powers. The full extension of it is unknown. My personal speculation is that the Domination gear was crafted to contain the jailer in the maw, and that by the time that the Dreadlords, in order of Kill Jaden, started to look for armor to put the Lich King in, they stumbled upon the armor of the jailer. But that is purely my own speculation. Who knows what the background behind that is. What we do know is that the Domination gear taps into the power of the jailer. So here, Uther's soul is fractured, and this memory of what happened to him sparks it in Devos to once again question the path of the Kyrians, to once again recognize that their path is wrong. And she goes as far as speaking out about it against the Archon, telling them the path is wrong. But they won't listen, because if they listen and acknowledge that the path is wrong, then all what they know crumbles apart. And this will put her on the path of creating the Forsworn, also known as the Purple Smurfs, whereas the Kyrians are the blue ones, the blue Smurfs. She leads the Forsworn, and in-game you'll actually go through the storyline and you'll actually have Uther recognize, like, what we did to him wasn't the right thing to do. It wasn't right to take his soul, and when Arthas looks up, there's only darkness before me. It wasn't right to just plunge him into the maw. He too should have been judged and perhaps sent off to Revendreth instead. And this is something that eats away at Uther, but that story, that campaign, you'll play through it. When it comes to this, oh, I'm a big fan. I love this. I can't wait for the other 3 parts. I really cannot wait for it. And to see more story added to the final moments of Arthas, where he's like, I can only see darkness before me. To see what Uther has done. But yeah, to just see what went down there in the Shadowlands and why it eats away at Uther and why he joins the Purple Smurfs, the Forsworn Covenant. It is brilliant. I loved it. I love this cutscene. Cannot wait for the other ones. But by all means, let me know what you think of it. Where is your speculative mind going? What did you think of the cutscene? I'll probably edit this a little bit to not be completely spoilers right at the get-go. But thank you very much for watching, everybody. I cannot wait for the other ones. And a release date. Let's not forget about a release date. What do I think about the release date? I think it's real soon. I think there's still a whole lot of work to be done on Shadowlands. But at least we have a date to look forward to. So that would mean September would be the pre-patch, as we already saw it on the PTR this month. So September will be the pre-patch. And October, late October, we'll see a release. Awesome stuff. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. Until next time. See ya!